Ladies and gentlemen, they're getting desperate. They are getting desperate. Um, Growing number of women doing witchcraft on men by Taylor Alicia. Now, do I believe in witchcraft? I do. Witchcraft is real. It's real. And yes, you could be among those who can fall in the trap of somebody who casts magic on you. But let's see exactly how the desperate ones are finally doing it. You gotta understand that they put themselves in this situation. Nobody did this to themselves except for themselves. They have set the bar way too damn high that man can't even achieve. They want a man who's 6 feet tall, makes six figures. He probably needs to have a 6 foot, probably 7 or 8 foot long down in his pants. They have just said record, and out of all of that, the majority of what their standard, men can't even achieve these things. So they have somehow made something in their mind, a perspective in their mind, and now they're imposing that on men. And men are like, nah, I can't. I cannot satisfy that. And so now they're resorting to witchcraft.
This is your sign. Put witchcraft on him. He's not calling you. Put witchcraft on him.
Okay, I think we're a happy relationship, but has no idea I paid £12.50 for a girl on Etsy to cast a love spell on him.
She told me that it would make a young Canadian pop star fall in love with me. Thanks, Dad.
Okay, listen to me. This just took be careful who you date to a whole nother level. Because just this last weekend, I found myself on a side of TikTok I didn't know existed. And I'm gonna guess a lot of you watching didn't know as well. Which is, no pun intended, which is putting spells on their boyfriends without them knowing. Go ahead and check some of these videos out.
If you came across this,
but since they posted it, now the man knows about it. So the question is, will he stay? I'm not gonna lie to you. If you put a spell on me and I find out later, hey, you gotta go. I ain't about to deal with your crazy ass around me. I don't know what the hell. If you're willing to go that far, I don't know what you can do. Girl, you could poison my ass whenever you feel like getting rid of me. I don't know.
Video, it's so you need to learn how to control that man and make him submit to your will.
I cast a spell on my boyfriend. The amount of time that you're hoping and wondering and fantasizing about him breaking no contact, girl, it's been over a week. Do what.
And also keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, when they say they cast a spell, a lot of the time it doesn't work. It doesn't work a lot of the time, but sometimes it does work. But the magician also need their money, so they're gonna say, okay, magic is done, your boyfriend should fall in love with you now. And then they'll probably say like, oh, look out for these signs and stuff like that. And it's probably something that's common, like, oh, he's gonna hold your hand, or he's gonna kiss you on the forehead, or he's gonna say I love you more, or some shit like that. And then when she starts seeing these signs, she'll be like, oh my god, the magic really did work, when in reality it's like it didn't work, but rather the man was just gonna do that anyway. They just, yeah. So take everything that they're saying, take it with a grain of salt, and also keep in mind that it's social media. Girls like to follow trend. So if something becomes very popular, they want in on the game. It's easy for me to turn on the camera and say, guess what? I cast some magic on my wife, and now she is in love with me, even though I'm full of shit. Excuse me. Even though I'm full of it and I haven't done anything. Just to get clicks and likes. So keep that in mind.
On him already.
When they ask how I get my man to listen and do whatever I say, control love spell.
Okay, and the scarier part is this doesn't even have to be someone that you are necessarily dating. This could be someone who just has a crush on you.
Think carefully about who you're doing this for, because you won't be able to distance yourself from that person ever again. Take a sanitary pad and make a hole in it. Through this hole, insert a photo of the person you wish to have in your life. If you are on your period, it is much more effective.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me go ahead and let you guys know something. To cast a spell on somebody is not as easy as just writing their name down and putting it in your pad so that your stuff can get on it and period blood and the magic is cast. It's not that easy. I'm gonna go ahead and stop it right here because this is some topic that I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm genuinely very, very, interested in. You guys have heard the government talk about aliens, right? They say, "Oh, we know aliens exist. We're in communication with alien." This was a few years ago. They literally went to Congress and they admitted that alien exists. The only reason people didn't buy into the shit is because COVID happened and people didn't listen to the government anymore and so on and so forth. Now, one thing that you will understand is that every religion, every language, every human being in the world, for some reason, they all have some kind of spiritual being that they talk about. In Arabic, they call them jinn. Christians will call them demon. And other cultures will have some kind of supernatural being that they can talk about. Here in America, in the modern age, in the state, in a socialist country, in a country that is filled with a bunch of atheists and stuff like that, their idea of a jinn is called alien. Now, with that information, aliens, or should I say jinns or demon, are a creature that lives among us, but we don't see them, but rather they see us in places that we don't know. Okay? And you've seen movies in Hollywood and they have these pentagram and stuff like that, and they try to, summon these demons so that way they can do this stuff for them. Yeah, it's all the same thing. When Americans say alien, they're not talking about a supernatural being that lives, billions of light years away that comes and visit us. That's not who they're talking about. They're talking about demon. They're talking about jinns. Now, in order for you to have access to these creatures, you have to do all sorts of things in order for them to do you a favor. So for magic to be cast on you, you will have to do things that they will tell you to do, such as, there's some stuff that I can't even name on here, to be quite honest with you, but they will tell you, like, you have to commit this horrendous crime. Okay, I'm gonna speak from a perspective of a Muslim here because somebody who's not a Muslim, I don't know exactly what they're gonna tell them to do, but somebody who believes in the Quran, right? Jinns or demons, they have to make sure that you are somebody who completely disassociate themselves from God altogether in order for them to do you a favor. Okay, so one thing that they can tell you to do is they will probably tell you to burn the Quran. They'll tell you burn the Quran, or they will tell you that you have to get a page of the Quran and smear your period blood on there. Or in worst case scenario, they will probably tell you to go sleep with somebody that you're related to. You have to do like extremely disgusting rituals in order for them to do you a favor, and that favor could be anything. So with that being said, the little clip that we just seen of a woman writing the name of her man and then putting it in the period and then giving you instruction, it's not that easy. It's not that easy. Somebody can't just get up one day, do that, and then automatically they fall in love with something. And so that's what I'm saying, that some of these videos are fake. If you want to talk to real magicians, trust me, they do horrendous things. You've seen videos, you've seen people talk about it. If you have, you will know that a lot of the stuff that they have to do is extremely nasty. I've heard a magician who said that he was commanded to go inside of a cave, sit down inside of some kind of pentagram that he drew on the ground. He had to sit there for a certain amount of days. If he had to defecate, he has to defecate on himself, pee on himself, and do all these nasty things. And he has to like enter in a state of impurity, and like he has to be completely impure. And so this is what attracts these demons to come to you, and so they can assist you in doing whatever it is that you do. I can go on and on with this whole situation, but you get the whole idea, right? It's a mess. You don't want to get into it. It's disgusting. And yes, magic is real. They can cast it because, like I said, right? These are demons that are living among us. They don't interact with us, but they live among us. And so if somebody can have access to a specific jinn, and then they tell this jinn, hey, I need you to do so and so to this person. And so what's going to happen is the jinn is perhaps going to require like a hair of that person. And then they're going to ask for the name of that person. So that way they know who to attack. They know this person, okay, this is the person, and this is what we have to do to attack this person. So yeah, I hope you learned something from that little story, later.